Guys, I'm asking you to consider homage.com for all of your apparel needs. If you like these cool NBA Jam t-shirts like the one I'm wearing right here for the Philadelphia 76ers, there is a bevy of options at homage.com. And the great news about homage.com is I am an affiliate sponsor. The Cajun Cardboard channel is an affiliate sponsor of homage.com. And if you go into my YouTube description in the top right, you can click a link that'll direct you to homage.com, and then every purchase you make on the site supports the Cajun Cardboard channel. Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana with another episode of Best of the Best. And we're into what I think is the best year, which means it's the toughest year to pick what are my top 3 cards aesthetically in this calendar year. This is miserable. The comments, I want to know which ones I left out. Again, I picked 2 honorable mentions just to cover my ass, but even if I narrow it down to 5, there's literally a list of like 25 that could be argued are the best. 97 was probably the ultimate year for Michael Jordan cards, and there are so many damn options to choose from. I sort of stuck with the pretty much very high-end type of cards. I own 4 of the 5 cards, which I'll show you pictures of as well. And we'll look at card ladder, we'll look at pops, we'll look at prices and all that stuff. But remember, we're just choosing, but I am just choosing the 3 cards that I like the most in order, 3, 2, 1, and then 2 honorable mention in no particular order. So let's not waste any time. Let's get cranking. Card number 1 on my list is right here. It is the 1997 Skybox Premium Thunder and Lightning. And this is a card that I have owned in the past. I owned a BGS 8 copy, and then I sold it because I figured, well, I'm just going to pick up a PSA 8 or a BGS 9.5. It ain't that easy. This is a very, very tough card to come by. Very tough pack odds. It's a card we discuss. All 5 of these cards are going to be cards that we discuss in great detail in the MJ Hierarchy project, which very recently concluded. Check it out if you haven't yet. But this is the card. It does glow in the dark. Yes, that's a fact. It has been confirmed, and it is a really interesting feature of this card. A lot of people may have this card number 1. There's many Jordan cards featuring lightning or electricity in the background, all of which are very popular amongst people. The Electrified, the Electrifying, the Thunder and Lightning, the Scoring Kings, the other Thunder and Lightning. There's a lot of Jordan cards with electricity themes and or lightning in the background. This Thunder and Lightning in PSA 10 is just an otherworldly card. We're talking about a card that very recently sold for $43,200. If you want to drop down, and usually I say, look, if you want to just collect Jordan cards on a budget, just drop down to like BGS 8.5 and go pick them up, for a few $100. And not this one. Still a $2,000 card in an 8.5 slab. The card's not doing great in 8.5 over the last 2 years, but it's definitely settled out over the last year, as you can see. In fact, it's actually up 20% over the last year. Let's look at the pop of this card. Again, only 248 have ever been graded. The PSA 10's a pop 16. The BGS 9.5 is actually a pop 2. This is one of those very strange anomalies where not only is the BGS gem rate lower, it is significantly lower. 1.5% BGS, 13.79% PSA. So it's significantly easier to grab that PSA copy. You're just not going to see a BGS 9.5 copy come to market, maybe ever again, and certainly not often. And not that the PSA 10's been selling very often either. But this is just a card. It's a great card. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, if you just looking at the card, I mean, the aesthetics of it are absolutely out of this world. And so that is card number, that is the first of the 2 honorable mention cards. The next of the 2 honorable mention cards is the Ultra Star Power Supreme. And remember, this is an insert parallel. So there's the Star Power Plus, which is green and die cut, and then there's the Star Power Supreme, which is this color, which is sort of a urine yellow, but really cool. It's got like little atom symbols in the background, and then the 2 Jordan images there. I've got this card that I can actually share with you guys. It's going to look different because it just depends on what the background is, because it is translucent. It is a yellowish background background to it, but it's translucent, so you can actually see through. In fact, if you look at the back, you can see both Jordan images there as well. So Jordan red jersey, Jordan white jersey, notorious for flaking up here of this blue foil type substance. It's on the top left on the die cut portion. This one's got a PSA 10, but you can see that flaking obviously took place post slabbing. So very rare card. Looking in card ladder, you're talking about a card that is a pop 15. Again, BGS with a tougher gem rate, right? Very rare. There's tougher gem rate for BGS on this one. Only 177 times has this card been graded. There's 15 PSA 10s. There's actually a Beckett, a BGS 10 out there, but there are 16 BGS 9.5s. Not a big disparity between the value of the PSA and the Beckett. The last PSA 10 sold in 2021. The BGS 9.5 last sold in 2022. It's a 5-figure card, no matter how you slice it in gem condition. If you want to look at a more affordable BGS 8.5, you're still looking at about a $1,500 card. PSA 8, you're looking at a $2,300, maybe $2,500 card, albeit it has dipped a little bit lately. So that's my second honorable mention card, is the Star Power Supreme that you see on your screen right there. Next on our list, card number 3 is the Platinum Portraits, a unique card to say the least. This image of Jordan's face and his bust on this card is pinhole die cut. This is just a huge tier 2 card for any MJ collector, as was the Star Power Supreme. It's from 1997 Metal Universe, which you guys know I think is the best set from the 90s. It is my number 1 set from the 90s, and spoiler alert, this will not be the last card today on this video in the next 10 minutes that you'll see from the 1997 Metal Universe set. Let your mind wander. You can go figure it out. But this is the 97 Metal Universe Platinum Portrait, number 10. It's a PSA 10. The PSA 10 actually just recently in some really interesting results. I've got it pulled up here. First, I want to show you the chart. So here's the chart, and you'll see on August 24th, just a few weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago, it says 82,500, but that's not correct. 2 of them actually sold. One for 90, one for 7,500, and that is why you get the average of 82,500, because with card ladder, when 2 sell on the same night, they split the difference, they add them up, they average, they add them up, they divide it by 2, you get the average sale price. And it was an interesting story because in the PWCC Premier, the card had most recently sold in 2021, which we thought was the peak, for 58,800. Well, the PWCC Premier PSA 10 ran like crazy up to $90,000. A friend of mine had the exact same card in PSA 10 listed in his PWCC vault on the fixed price marketplace at $75,000. And before he could go adjust that $75,000 fixed price buy it now on the fixed marketplace, somebody snapped it up and hit the buy it now button on the PWCC vault fixed price marketplace and grabbed his for $75,000, thinking, well, if the damn thing just sold for 90, me picking it up for $75,000, I've got some margin in there. I'm assuming it's not the same person that bought the $90,000. If it is, I'm very impressed, because you just dropped $165,000 on one card, 2 copies of the same card in the same night. That would really truly be something. But this is a big card in PSA 10. Let's just be very clear about it. It is a very rare card. Only 233 times ever graded by PSA and BGS. Who knows how many are crack and resubs? Once again, look at the BGS gem rate. It's significantly less than the PSA. So for the 3rd straight time, we see BGS grading the card with a little bit more scrutiny than the PSA. I do own the card. I do not own the card in a PSA 10. I own it in the nice and comfortable minimum BGS 9.5 grade that I have come to know and love. But as you can see, front of the card, back of the card, just same image on reverse. It's a 15-player insert set. Really, really astronomical, difficult pack odds, similar to the Star Power Supreme. Just really tough cards to pull, especially in gem condition. The combined gems between these two, PSA and BGS, you're talking about 40 of them out there in the world. And so I'm happy to own the BGS 9.5. Again, a card that lets the card do the talking. There's not a lot of flash, not a lot of colors. It's not the 95 Beam Team. It's not the Star Power Supreme that we just looked at, which is just super bright and colorful and eye-popping. It's not the glow-in-the-dark thunder and lightning. This is a more subdued, just classic, elegant look with some absolutely intricate pinhole die cutting to create that image of Jordan. What a great insert set this would be to collect, because there's some big-time players in this set, including the great Shaquille O'Neal. I think he's in there. I think Rodman's in there. I don't have it pulled up, but I think Kobe's in there. So some big-time players in there. What a great insert set that would look like all laid out. That's card number 3 on my list. Card number 2 on my list, now we're getting to big boy type cards, right? We're talking about the 1997 Metal Universe Championship Precious Metal Gems. These were serial number to 50. It was sort of the one of the earliest examples of that scope pattern in the background that Panini has copied. I do own this card in this exact same grade. This is one of my foundational pieces of my collection. It is a Pop 7 in PSA 8. I've got this copy right here. Mine is one of the last 5 numbered, which means something. Google it if you don't know what that means, but it's number 49 out of 50. Some people think that makes it more valuable. Some people think that makes it less valuable. Long story short, it's my understanding that 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50, I'm talking about the serial number of the card, were redemptions where you could pull a card from the packs that allowed you to send that in and get the entire set of championship PMGs for every single player. So this Jordan was a redemption championship PMG from 1997. Some people think that makes it more valuable because there's only 5 of those, so that makes it special. Some people think it's less valuable because it's not theoretically pack pulled, although access to it had to be pack pulled. So I don't know. Anybody who wants to weigh in the comments below about what they think about that, go for it. I don't care. It's a championship PMG. It's authentic. It's PSA 8. I'm happy with it, regardless of what the numerator was. So it is what it is. But anyway, looking at the card, obviously the value is very high. I think that's probably a little bit low. I don't think 181 would get it done if somebody was buying this card today. Maybe I'm wrong. Probably not, though, because the last BGS 9, which is probably, we'll say it's what with the PSA 8, sold for $288,000 in October of 2022. So remember, there's only 50 of them out there. It's been graded 36 times. I am certain a few of those are cracking resubs. The gem rate for PSA is 0. The gem rate for Beckett is once ever, which is basically 1 out of 21, giving it a 4.76% gem rate. So humongous card, doesn't matter the grade at all. Unlike the Thunder and Lightning, the Star Power Supreme, and the Platinum Portraits that we just looked at, where the PSA 10 takes it to a whole different stratosphere and you can actually go obtain the card in lower grades. These are going to be extremely valuable cards, no matter what the grade is that was paid. In fact, if you take this and you plug it in and you copy it and you go here and we take out the Shade On Sharp and we plug it in and then we type in Jordan and then we type in 50 and then we sort by price. And then we sort by the most ever paid for one was a BGS 9 that sold for $324, and we sort to lowest, the lowest that's ever been paid. Wouldn't it be nice to take a time machine back to 2012 or even 2018? 2018, you could have picked it up for $15,000 in a PSA 9. Now it's probably a $250,000, $300,000 card. I don't know. I'm guessing somewhere around there. Let's see what Card Ladder says. Card Ladder says $82,000. That's probably off a little bit considering the last BGS 9 sold for $288,000. So that's card number 4 on the list, the 1997 Championship PMG PSA 8. I love the Chicago background. I love Jordan's tongue open. He's got the child molester on his left hip, dominating him as he did. Took 2 rings away from his sorry ass. Just the back of the card does pop with color. This card checks a lot of boxes. A lot of people say they would prefer this card over the card we're about to look at next, which should be no surprise. A lot of people may be thinking it's the PMG green, but it's not. It's the PMG red. And the reason I think the red outshines the PMG green is because red on red, red PSA label, everything about this card hits home. It was unique. It was extremely unique. It was an aberration. It was all chaos. The base card from this 1997 Metal Universe set is an incredible aesthetic card as well. The PMG red just threw away everything that made the 97 base card eye-popping and mesmerizing and unique, and it went in a completely different direction, but it's wonderful to say the least nonetheless. Just very different from anything like it, anything before, and anything since, other than these, retro PMGs, the football PMGs, Upper Deck employee exclusive PMGs, right? Everybody's trying to redo it, but there's only one OG, and it's the 1997 red and green PMG, or ruby and emerald PMGs. This is my copy of the BGS 8. I'll never forget when I won it and where I was. I was asleep. I woke up the next morning, found out I won the auction. It was on the PWCC premiere a few years ago. I was actually in Birmingham with my wife and a few of my kids for my daughter at a UAB soccer ID camp. That daughter is now in college, so that's just kind of dating it. That was a few years ago before she was in college. And this is what the card looks like right here. There's a PSA 6 copy. If we hit the pop report, remember, these are serial number to 100, but there are only 90 unique copies of the true red PMG because 10 of the 100 are greens. This is what the card looks like, and this is what the pop report looks like. There's actually, again, I think PSA grades it easier than Beckett, or at least they used to. I'm not sure they do anymore. The gem rate, you can really kind of throw it out the window. I wonder what a Beckett BGS 9.5 would sell for today. Let's see if I can pull that up. This one last sold in 2012 for $40,000. They've got on here a $460,000 value. There's no way that card's selling for less than $500,000. If one of these 9.5s, there's two of them in the world, this is the only gem copies of this card. If either one of these showed up on open auction, there is no way in the world that card's selling for less than $500,000. Absolutely no way. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Let's see if we can get a recent. We don't have a PSA 9 sale. So BGS 8.5 is the most recent high grade, the highest grade that Card Ladder's got in the database. That one sold for $446,000. Let's go here and let's just type in 1997. Let's do this because sometimes people put PMG but not precious. Let's go metal red Jordan, and let's take that out. And let's see what comes up, and let's sort by the highest price. There's going to be a bunch of fake shit if you look at it like that. Highest price ever paid. So there you go. In 2022, a BGS 8.5 sold for $564,000. And then actually right before that, a BGS 7 sold for $450,000. I think they've come back a little bit since then if we sort by date sold. The most recent one was actually a PSA 4. So if I'm not mistaken, that is there is a PSA 3 and then two authentic reds. So a PSA 4 is not the, I don't want to say worst because none of these are bad. It is one of the lowest graded options out there. So if you were looking to get into this card on the cheap being in bold quotes, that was about as cheap as you could get into the card is that PSA 4. These are going to be some like retro deals. There's the BGS 8 and sold for $360,000 in June. So big card. Again, that's my copy right there. My copy is number 73 out of 100. As you can see, I love the back of these cards. It looks like almost like a, I don't know, it's got like a computer / motherboard background, not quite to the extent of the take it to .net, but you get the point. So big cards in this week's episode of the 1997 Best of the Best. You've got the PMG Red that we've looked at right here as the top dog, in my opinion. Let me know if I'm crazy. We got the Championship PMG right here as card number 2. We've got the Platinum Portraits 3. We've got the Star Power Supreme 4. And then we've got the Thunder and Lightning 5. Again, this was miserable. This was very difficult. I didn't put too much time into it. An argument can be made for literally 50 other cards from the year 1997 because this is the epitome. This is the peak. This is the climax, if you will, of Michael Jordan card design. And really, I think basketball card design. I think 1997 was when basketball cards hit the peak of ingenuity and technology, and it sort of created a perfect storm, given that that was a very big year for Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, and basketball card collecting was going through a renaissance. And so 97 was fun. Let me know what you think. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What card should be in here in the 1997 Best of the Best? Do you agree with me that 97 is the best year of 1990s basketball cards? Is it the best year for Jordan collectors in particular, if they're looking for the best of the best or the best looking cards? Let's put it that way. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks again for watching these Best of the Best videos. Got 2 left, 1998 and 1999. You'll catch those on upcoming Fridays. Appreciate you watching as always. Consider hitting the subscribe button if you haven't already. Click in the YouTube channel description and hit the about button if you're looking for 4 different ways that you can actually support the channel. I truly appreciate any consideration given to supporting the channel. It's not hard work, but it is work nonetheless to be consistent and continue to put out 6 to 10 videos every single week, 2 years running. So and for free, no subscriptions, no Patreon, none of that nonsense, no YouTube ads in the middle. I'm trying to do it the old-fashioned way, where you guys kind of help me keep this thing propped up and going. So thanks for all those who have done that in the past. Hopefully you'll consider doing that on a consistent basis. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, and peace.